All right, look. So woke up 7:30, went on a little run, lasted about like 24 minutes, right? I'm not a huge runner, but you know what? I think it's a good habit to have. Came back home, and now it's time to just get ready for the day. I'm already ready for the day, really, but what I just did here is I just did a call, and here I already accomplished the first two, which is what I call um, the first two goals that I have of me just dialing a lead and pitching a lead. That's what I call the first two. All right, so I just did one. Now I'm just about to do another one just to show you guys how easy it is to just pick up the phone and call. In this case, I'm calling through my computer here. So we're just gonna call another one, and after this, we're gonna eat some breakfast, and then we're gonna go to a networking group called 1MC. So, damn, that was quick to hang up. So, yeah, we're just gonna basically do one more call, and after that, now we're gonna go to that networking group, 1MC, and eventually we need to start speaking there. All right, eventually we're gonna start speaking there. For now, we're just going there because I believe that everybody has to be social. Everyone has to be social because there's people on earth. You're not the only one. So everyone has to be social. All right, that's why I go to these networking events, to connect. Come on, come on. Is this new look painting? Do you guys happen to paint cabinets or home interior by chance?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so we recently worked with the painter and brought him about 7 new projects for his company. And look, man, honestly, all I actually wanted to find out from you is you see, that's what we need right there. That's what we need, bro. Because when you start getting hung up on, you start giving a shit a little bit less each time. And just like him, how I was going through that pitch, he's like, I'm good. And I was like, okay, no biggie. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt you anymore after you've gotten hung up on so many times. Because, yeah, I've gotten hung up on a shitload of times. And honestly, you think I give a fuck? You think I give a fuck if someone's getting off the phone? In fact, the person that's quickly getting off the phone, I look at him like a pussy because he's not willing to be like, hey man, all right, look, I'm just not interested. I'm gonna let you go now, okay? And even if I were to be like, no, wait, hold on. If he lasts on the phone and says, hey man, seriously, I'm just not interested, I'm gonna get off the phone now, all right? Take care, man. Rather than just, you know, because they're just like avoiding it. They're like, oh no, like, to me, they're pussies if they're getting off the phone. And that's a good way to look at it. Like, you got to look at it like, if they hang up on you, they're scared. They're scared of something. That's why they're just like, oh, like trying to avoid the call as much as possible. They're scared. And it's perfectly fine if people hang up on you. I mean, they're cold calls. Like, they're not warm calls. They're not hot calls. Like, they're cold calls. So people are gonna hang up on you no matter what. All right, so look, we just signed a client yesterday, and by signed I mean he paid the invoice yesterday. So it's a client that I have in Idaho. Now it's all about getting him onboarded and getting some solid creatives out, because this client is, management fee is $950, right? He paid half up front, and then 30 days paid the other half, will pay the other half. And the ad spend is, here, I'm gonna bring this over here. The ad spend is $1,500 for 30 days. So that's 50 a day. And we're gonna run some solid ads. I've took on about 5 clients at this point. Not all of them paid me. Some of them did, right? And some of them were like free trial, and then it just didn't work. Out of those 5 clients, how many do you think that I've gotten a solid case study? I've only gotten a solid case study from one of those 5 clients. Now, you may be thinking, well, are you going to get a solid case study out of this client? Look, you learn from every failure. From every failure, doesn't matter what you're doing, you learn from every failure. And I've learned enough now. It's 2024, right? May 1st, Wednesday, about 9:19 in the morning, okay? At this point in my career, I've been at it since 2022, so that's like a solid 2 years. And I've been through trial and error these past 2 years. And what that shows to prove is that you have to go through the fire, through the bullshit, through the ugly first before you can reach conviction, value, and confidence in yourself. Because most cases when you start something new, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough in the beginning. So you have to just keep fighting through, because if you keep fighting through, eventually something is going to stick. No matter what, eventually something is going to stick. It's a matter of time and effort. So now with this client, after all the failures that I've had, now with this client that I just signed in Idaho, $950 management fee and then $1,500 ad spend, which is a good budget. It's a good budget, right? And I actually feel confident that we're going to get him a solid result. I don't know why I feel this confidence with this client, but I've been through enough bullshit already, man. I've been through enough bullshit. I've paid media buyers that didn't deliver on anything. I paid a few white label agencies that just didn't deliver on anything. Now I have a solid white label agency that I can go to, but I'm not going to go to them yet because I still need to figure out the fulfillment on my own and at least give it another shot on my own. And this is going to be the 6th client, and this is going to be the win. All right. We already had one win, but it wasn't even a win that I was too proud of because I put in all the ad spend and he only paid me like 10% of each job that he landed. He didn't pay for any ads. So he was getting the win, of course, right? But that was the first client I ever had. And I was like, I might as well do something. I got something in my savings. I might as well do something. Now with this client, it feels like an actual client because he's paying me for my fee, right? $950 for a month. And on top of that, he's paying for the ad spend too. So we're doing everything correctly now. It's not on my card anymore. It's on the client's card. So what we're going to focus on here is getting the best result with a right strategy. Because back then I can say that I was just putting up random Facebook ads with copy that I thought would work and stuff, and just doing what everyone else was doing. Now it's about doing something different with the strategy you're going to approach it with. So I'm very excited for this client we just took on. Yesterday was the day that he sent back the invoice. Now what we got to do is we got to get him on video just like this so we can put him on the ads. And he says he's down to get on video, so we're just going to see where that goes and where that leads us to. But this is the client right here that we're going to get a solid result. I already got him a solid result with no money spent. This is the client that I got $27K in revenue in 72 hours from no money spent and just the DR campaign launch, right? So it was just a DR campaign, a database reactivation campaign that we launched for him with a customer list that he had of 254 leads. And we got him 27K in revenue in 72 hours. I couldn't even believe it, but you know what? We did it. And we did it a very getaway, but we still did it. All right. So now it's time to put money into advertisements. And that right there is gas to the fire. All right. So we're going to kill it for this guy. We're going to kill it. And I promise you, this is the client that I'm going to actually get the best result for out of all the 5 failures that I've gotten and the one win, right? That one win, it was $30K revenue in 60 days with the highest project at $15K for interior painting. So now we're going to get this solid case study from this new client. We're going to get him a solid win. I promise you that. And I may not be the best at fulfillment, but I just know that this guy has a solid general contracting business. And there's no way we cannot get him some new work because he's got a great closing rate. He's got a good closing rate. So now it's all about getting people in front of him. All right. We're going to get opportunities in front of him and he's going to close them. And we're going to make some moolah. But more importantly, we're going to make the connections that he has, because I'm sure he has great connections. Now it's about working closely with him. And then later on being like, hey man, do you happen to know anyone else that can use my help just like I've helped you? Because I truly do want to help these people get new opportunities in the door, because in the niche I'm in, which is home improvement, contractors, painters, remodelers, fencing guys, landscaping companies, like they're not tech savvy. Like they're really not tech savvy. And if someone like me comes in and helps them out with something that actually matters, like getting them new estimates in their calendar because they may be a little dried up, I feel fulfilled on doing that, because I know that brings money into their company, and that reflects on their personal lives. So I know that I'm actually doing something good for them. And so why wouldn't this client want to refer me to other people that I could help, right? If I'm actually going to help him like I helped him. So it's all a good intention, man. It's all good intention. I'm excited for what's about to come. Now let's get to eating some breakfast and let's go to 1MC because we got to network with other people. All right, let's go, man.